Hello everybody, it's me, Anderson West, back again with another review this time. Today I'm going to be talking about some special batteries I got sent from Neewer, the PS099E and the PS050E. Let's get into it. So here, the 099E and the 050E are two batteries Neewer sent over for me to review a few months ago. I took my time with the review because I feel with batteries, you got to use out in the field for a good amount of time to see if it's truly reliable. And I got to say, I love them. I love it so much that I bought another 099E just so I can complete the set. Now, little rundown about the batteries. As the name alludes to, the 099E has a capacity of 99 kilowatt hours and the 050E has a capacity of 50 watt hours. So plenty of time to power either your camera or your light, like a V-Lock light. I have a couple of panel lights that you need V-Lock to power if you haven't got access to mains power, and these things work a treat. The thing about V-Lock as a system is it's been around for ages. I've been working with V-Lock most of my career. They were a lot bigger back in the day, so now loving seeing the size of them get so much smaller now. I know, focus. They're so much smaller than they used to be. And the lightweight, a good size as well. The key thing about this V-Lock is that it's got multiple power outputs. You've got 12 volt and 8 volt at the top here. You've got D-tap, standard, pretty much standard on all batteries, but now it also has USB-A and USB-C, and this USB-C has up to 100 watt power delivery, and that's bi-directional, which I'm going to go into why that's awesome. And the 50E is the exact same, has the exact same outputs. The only difference between these two batteries is that the capacity on the 99E is about twice as much as the 50E. Yay, math. Now, the benefits of using V-Lock. V-Lock is just a high-powered, high-capacity battery system that's more professional, more rugged. It's got that solid locking mount, so you can lock it into the back of your camera and it can take that power or the back of your light, and it works no problem. How I've been using this battery the last 3 months is to power my cinema camera 6K. So, as most people know, Blackmagic cameras and their battery life is atrocious, especially in the Pocket 6K and the Cinema 6K because they use the internal MPF. I've replaced it completely with V-Lock only. Along with having all those outputs, they also have this little power button here. So this power button doesn't turn your battery on and off, but what it does is turn your display on and off. But with this display, it actually shows you the capacity your battery has, but then it also shows how much power draw it is coming out of the various outputs here. But according to Neewer, they're actually using some intelligent technology to regulate the amount of power that you can take out of any particular of the power outputs. Now, why did I buy another one? Well, what I found is, another benefit of using this on my particular camera instead of using the internal MPF batteries is that this percentage meter is so accurate. Now, anyone who's got the Pocket 6K Pro or any of the Pockets or any of the Cinema Camera 6K models knows you cannot ever trust the battery on your screen. But if you try and actually know how much percentage is left in your battery, it's impossible. It just doesn't tell you. Now with this system, it tells you, and it's very accurate. I've used this battery to 1% and it doesn't lower the amount of voltage coming out. It will just cut off. But again, because you could just quickly check your percentage here by clicking the power button, you could just see how much is left on your battery. I love this solution. Now, again, that's my very specific use case. This battery is equipped with premium LG power cells. So the batteries in here are high quality. Neewer's a brand that's been making batteries for quite a while. Anyone in the budget filmmaking space has seen multiple Neewer V-Locks on Amazon, and you can just buy one in a jiffy. And even though they're a value brand, I trust them more because they've been making batteries for so long. Now, the other thing about owning V-Locks is you have to buy a V-Lock charger with it, or in the past, at least you did. And they're normally slow unless you got a fast power one, and you normally have to leave it on overnight. Now, the magic power of this particular battery is its power delivery charge. Now, it does output USB-C, but it also inputs USB-C, meaning I can charge my battery just by plugging it into a standard USB-C port. And I have an Anker 65-watt USB power plug, and this charges the battery in about an hour and a half, if that. It saves so much money on needing to buy another V-Lock charger. And if I'm honest, plugging this battery into the USB-C port is way quicker than charging it on my old V-Lock charger. In fact, I need to replace that, to be honest, but this just makes it even much more lovely. I have 2 of these with me to power the camera. On most shoots, that's enough for a full day. I'll have the 50E as well, just as to top up, just in case I'm nowhere near power, and I could use that. But often what I do is, as soon as this one's flat, I just get out my USB-C plug this into the wall, wherever location I'm in, and I guarantee this will be charged before my other one's even gone flat. So I do love this. I'm probably gonna get another one just so if I'm on a more remote location, I can use it and not worry too much. Now the 50E, I haven't been using this as much on my back of my camera as the 99E. In fact, this has been more of a power bank. So I recently got an Osmo camera. Love that camera. I may do a review at some point on it. And the battery life is pretty shocking. And I don't want to get that other extension because it makes it quite a little bit taller. Having this little 50E on me all the time with its, again, bi-directional USB-C power, what it allows me to do is just use it as a power bank. I can just plug in my Osmo when its battery is a bit low into the 50E, and it charges it in no time. And or if my laptop is a bit low in battery and I'm not anywhere near a plug, I plug the 50E into my MacBook, and it just tops up the battery a little bit, or just gives me a little bit more battery that I need if I'm in a tight spot. And the size of this thing, it's really small. You can see it here in my hand. I could just slip this in my pocket somewhere like this, and it's all there, no problem. I find this really versatile. I love that battery technology has come as far as it has, and now you don't need a V-Lock plate with loads of outputs because you can get the outputs directly on the battery. I know for me, I'm trying to make my camera rig as minimal as possible without needing to have another bulky V-Lock plate, just so I can have the outputs. Having a battery that has all the outputs I need to power my camera is something I can't go without now. And going forward, all my batteries is probably going to be USB-C, multiple output, probably from Neewer. After using it for 3 months on various shoots in various locations, indoor, outdoor, I have no complaints. Using it on a short film, and then a corporate where I'm out and about in the outside, or even on a cold day here in the UK, the battery performed flawlessly throughout on all the shoots. There was no issues. I didn't have any issue where the charge felt lower because it was out in the cold, or it didn't power something on my camera rig. It did it really well. Now, build quality, it's built pretty well. No, I wouldn't want to be dropping this multiple times, but it's a solid battery that doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. Now, if I'm being really picky here, I would have said, okay, maybe a little bit more rubber casing around it, just so if it drops, it's a bit more, you don't feel like if it drops on a hard surface, it'll crack open. And I think this would survive a drop for maybe 6 or 7 feet. But again, I wouldn't want to do that multiple times. But this is not an indication of this being a cheap battery. It's just something to be aware of. If you take care of your kit, you don't need to worry. I don't really have any complaints with the design. Yeah, could it be a bit more grippy? But look, it's a battery, and once it's locked in the V-Lock in the back of your camera or in your camera rig, it's not going anywhere. Whether it's for you, I think most filmmakers should migrate to V-Lock. Now, I know if you want to keep your rig minimal, you'll probably use the internal camera battery. That's fine, but I think for having it last longer and also be going from different camera systems, because I'm not always going to have a Blackmagic Cinema 6K. I might move on to another camera, an FX6 or a Kinfinity or whatever, and knowing that I could just use these V-Locks forever or as long as they last, I think it's pretty good. And after using it for 3 months, it's an absolute integral part of my workflow now, and just in terms of powering my camera. I do use it to power my lights as well. I know this has been more of a camera-centric review, and it does power my anglerfish, absolutely no problem. But because of the versatility of it and having all the outputs, I prefer to leave it on my camera rig and use some of my other V-Locks to power my lights. Now, in terms of the cost, right now in the UK here, it's about $159 pounds, or in the US it's like $150. But I'm gonna have a link to Amazon. You can link and you can buy the battery. But I'd always keep an eye out on Neewer's website. They are always having some sort of deal on, and you can get your battery probably a little bit cheaper than even the Amazon link sometimes. But they're a good price for what you get for essentially having a V-lock plate in terms of the outputs that you can access. Built into your battery is a really versatile solution, and the price and build quality are very good. Now, Neewer did send me the PS015 plate, which is perfect for mirrorless cameras. Now, the PS15 battery plate has a Arca Swiss tripod mount. So if you want to move from camera to gimbal quite quickly, you can do that. And then also you can use some of these more smaller tripods that are more for the mirrorless systems. If you want to have that option, and plug your camera in via USB-C to one of these batteries. For me, I don't have a mirrorless camera. So, I mean, I've got pictures here for a camera I borrowed, but I didn't find as much use for it. But if that's because my camera is not a mirrorless camera and I don't use them. So, but it is a great solution. Your batteries have everything you need now. And I think Neewer is doing a really good job at a good value of getting this to customers. And I check them out. I love using them, and I'm gonna buy more. They're gonna be Neewer V-locks, or the V-locks I'm gonna buy going forward. You can say I'm biased because of the review, but I bought one with my own money because I absolutely loved it. It's a wonderful system to use. And I think they're doing a great job with this battery tech. Now, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the Neewer batteries? Any questions you'd like to know, just feel free to ask. I've had them for 3 months and they're really good. I got part of my workflow, so I think I know a thing or two about them. But let me know in the comments, any questions you have or any thoughts or what you think of the battery. Let me know. But anyways, guys, stop listening to me. I need to get out there and stay shooting. But anyways, enough of me talking about these batteries. You guys need to stop watching and get out there and stay shooting. See ya.